Good evening, I'm Alyssa, and today's video, I should say this evening's video, is going to be a little late night watering vlog. And if I need to like tackle a repot or something, I will do that. So I'm excited. It should be a fun little evening. I'm hoping I can get this done in a few hours. Sometimes I have to water in segments and I can't get everything done in one night because it's too much, especially when I do a more thorough water. It just takes a long time and then I get distracted easily too. So, but yeah, we'll see how much I can get done tonight and then I'll finish up in here tomorrow because I know I probably won't get through everything because I have a lot of plants in here and I have a lot of plants that aren't in here and it's a lot to get through. So 2 days is usually what it takes for me to get it all done in segments. So yeah, I'm gonna be kind of popping off and on throughout the evening. I'm gonna be eating dinner here soon too, so I'll probably take a break and do that. It's probably heading towards 7 o'clock, so I might get my water ready first and then maybe I'll eat and then start my watering in here. I have my water mixed up. So I have the one with the green, that is fertilizer. I have one without a tag, that's without fertilizer. And then now I'm adding a third one to the mix. This one is actually with fertilizer and silica because I'm going to try doing the silica with the water for certain plants so that I can see how they do compared to plants without silica. I think I might wait and water my poles tomorrow because I do want to extend some poles, which I might be tempted to do tomorrow. I'm really like overdue on some extensions again and I keep putting it off. I think they'll be okay if they wait one more day to be watered, or at least until the morning. My Esmeralda has a new leaf here. She's beautiful. I forgot to get the pollen off of her the other day, this inflow. I meant to do that. So I think I might grab some aluminum foil and get the pollen off of here so I can store it. Because I don't have anything to cross with Warocqueanum pollen. I'm gonna have to figure out what I can cross with this one, but let me get the pollen off real quick before I water her. It's really easy to do. I've done this before in another video, But you just take some aluminum foil, and I have an old like craft paintbrush, and with the inflow, just take your aluminum foil in half, and we're just going to brush it on the aluminum foil. Now I might get more pollen on here to come in, so I might could take more off again, but I feel like the pollen has been on here for a while. And I don't know if you can see all of the pollen there. Do you see it? So I'm just going to fold it up. I should have got a little bit of bigger piece of foil. I probably shouldn't have cut it. That's all you really do. Seal it in a Ziploc bag. Just put the name or like the pollen, the plant that it's from, and today's date, and stick it in your freezer. And usually it's good for 4 months in the freezer. You just don't want it to get any condensation in here. And then I'm gonna do the same thing. I have my Pedatoradiatum. It has an inflow of pollen, but I don't have anything that's receptive right now. So I'm gonna do the same thing to that one, and we'll brush it off and freeze it. So the next time I have an inflow that's receptive, I can think about pollinating, but I just have to make sure that they can cross-pollinate. I think you just have to honestly just do research and see if anyone else has crossed them. I have been gently fertilizing this one. She's still got a little bit of water in here, so I'm just gonna add some in here. Some of these containers leak and it drives me crazy. I have water all over my floor. Since I have a little makeshift thingamabob, I'm just gonna water this really quick just to get some water up in here. And then I'm gonna add some in here. Okay, so that should be enough for a while. She's gorgeous. Look at my Milano. That leaf, it's growing. There's another one right here. I believe I have a total of 4 vines. I do need to extend it, so when I do my pole extensions, I'm probably going to work on my pole extensions sometime here soon. Oh, she's empty in here. So I have that new leaf, this vine over here, and this is a pretty new leaf, and I have another growth point on the way. And then I think I have a shorter vine down here. There's like a little growth point coming in. I don't know if you can tell right there. So I may have another like vine shooting up. But if I can get this plant to grow for me, I will be super impressed. I've been trying to grow a Milano for a really long time. And I just got the Gigas, you guys know, so I put that on a poll today, so I'm super excited for that one earlier today. It's pushing another new leaf already. Do you see that? I didn't even notice that. Right here. So that means it is going to climb very quickly now. This pole is getting moldy because it's staying moist 24/7 because of the pond. And there's so much algae in here. It's kind of crazy. I think it was just from the GT because I had started fertilizing it all the nitrogen. And now I'm wondering, since I'm using Foliage Pro now, how much more algae is going to grow in. I don't personally like how much algae is in this pole. I don't know if it's like taking nutrients away. I hope it's not, but I don't like all the algae. And I only had that, I never had that with Osmocote because I wasn't adding like liquid fertilizer through my poles. I kind of started slowly fertilizing most of my pond pots now, even though it's shorter than 6 months, because I'm worried that I messed up my fry deck, so I don't want to like underfeed. But I also noticed some burning on some other plants, so I think I'm overfeeding some as well. So I am just all over the place with fertilizer. So yes, I need to extend ASAP. I would do it tonight, but then if I add an extension, I'm gonna have to take it out of my cabinet, and I don't feel like doing that right now. It's gonna have to wait another week. The last one in my cabinet is my clary, and now this is the second yellow leaf I'm getting, and I think I'm underwatering it because it is in soil. It is very dry. I'm gonna cut this leaf off. One of the older baby leaves yellowed off the other day too. Now I do have 2 inflows pollinated on this one with my Pedatoradiatum. These 2 here, they're both pollinated. So I think this plant might be a little bit stressed, and then I have another inflow coming here in the middle. I might cut this off. If I get any more yellowing, I'm gonna cut that inflow off because I don't want it to stress. I'm gonna give a good soak. I need to get a pot extender. I might buy the Rousseau ones. I might go on their site and order them because I don't think the plastic cups, I don't really like the look of the plastic cups, and I don't really want to DIY any, even though I bought some like placemats to DIY some. Although I could just use my placemats. I might do that. I don't feel like doing that today. I'll have to do that soon though. It needs like support at the base. It needs some moisture down in here. I used to top dress them with sphagnum moss, but I kind of quit doing that because I did move several to pond, so yeah, I'm gonna let that soak up the water in here. Okay, and I have mites on her, so she's going back in the cabinet. Something that has been bugging me is I think my Tortum is rotting. So this was imported, and you can see there's a yellow leaf on it here. This one is yellowing, and I already had 2 more yellow. So these bottom roots are like rotted. So I think this whole thing might be rotting. So I'm gonna stick it in stratum. I don't know why it rotted. I don't know if it just didn't have enough of a healthy root system before I potted it up. This was imported, so it was already like a rehab. I don't think I potted it up too soon because it was like 2 months at least growing new roots in perlite. But it's clearly not happy. It's clearly like rotting. So we're gonna chop off the roots and stick it in stratum. And then since it already kind of seems like it's a pain, or it's like might be more finicky, I'm gonna probably just do this one in pond, because any philodendron that gives me trouble in soil, I'm gonna stick in pond, because it may just be like a watering inconsistency with me. I have like a bucket down here. We are going to trash bin. We're just gonna take it out. Yeah, I can smell root rot. I think the whole thing is completely rotted, which sucks. When I saw that yellowing, I instantly knew like it was rotting. Oh yeah, whole thing rotted off. It did not like perlite to soil at all. Yeah, we have absolutely no roots left. So this one that is yellow is coming off. We do have a little bit of stem rot happening right here at the base. That may have been like that because I'm trying to think back to the import, and I think part of it was a little rotty. Stratum will fix it right up though. And since this one is yellowing and I'm gonna go ahead and cut this one off. I think what I'm gonna do, just to be safe, I'm gonna cut this little chunk off. And then the only thing that's gonna be rooting is from like this here down. I may end up losing this bottom leaf, but that's okay. It gave me a pretty decent size one. I think this was a new one and this was a new one here. So it should do okay. It'll rehab back in pond. I feel bad that I waited a little bit too long to do this. I was gonna let this callus a little, and I'd normally like spritz it with a little hydrogen peroxide, but I don't think it's gonna rot anymore. Stratum is just like magical stuff, so it should come back just fine. Now the SP Columbia Silver that has grown a new leaf that I showed you in my cabinet, now that one was rotting in soil and it came back in stratum. It took a while, but it came back. I thought I was going to lose that one for sure. All right, we're going to use some just regular water, no fertilizer. All right, a little bit of a setback with Tortum. What I'm probably going to do is stick this one in my cabinet because I like to rehab plants in my cabinet because the the environment's a little bit more controlled, meaning it's more stable in there. It's not weather strip, but my cabinet is more temperature and humidity controlled than out here. Honestly, there's not too much of a difference in my environment out here than in my plant or in my cabinet, but I feel like it would appreciate being in there. So I'm going to try and squeeze him in there to rehab. I was supposed to be watering, but I'm doing more projects. I rinsed this one out yesterday. It's all nice and clean. This is my variegated Monstera Peru. This one was imported, but I feel like it did better because I put it into pond. So the water is nice and clean. Looks beautiful. I didn't do these two yet, and you see how like grody those look. Ugh, and this one's yellowing. I think since this one has a ton of roots in here, I think it's calling for an upsize, especially since this one yellowed off. This is the Mickey Mouse. And this one is growing some roots, but I think this one will be okay for a little bit. It's growing in some very, very white leaves. This is the Alocasia California Variegata. I got all these, or I got these two from the Green Escape. I got these over the summer and they came to me in soil in a plug form, but they just did not do well at all. I have a little nursery pot here for my dirty pond water. Oh, shoot, my grow lights, no. I don't know what I did. I think I just messed up the timer, but it's back on for now. Yeah, let me rinse this. Ugh. I'm gonna have to wash this. This is like all algae. Ugh. And then I'm just gonna take regular water here and just flush this through. That looks so much better, so much more clean. I'll have to dump that outside tomorrow. Yeah, I think this one is calling for an upsize. Pulled a tiny bit of root off. Okay, whoops, my memory card was full. I just glanced up and saw that it wasn't recording anymore, so I'm not sure what all you missed, but it's done now. I accidentally added a little bit too much water in here, but that's okay. It looks a lot better. I think it'll be happier in this kind of setup just to give it a little bit more room. I feel like maybe some Alocasia are sensitive to their roots. Some people were saying with pond, with their roots being in like the fertilizer water. And then I was thinking with like with hydroponics, like if you just grow in straight water, do they still have that same issue? So I don't know. I think it'll be happier in here, but it seems like it may be a little bit of a finicky one. So yeah, those 3 are at least done. Since I have like projects here, there's one more little upsize that I want to do with the plant. It's completely dry. My little my light veins was struggling to grow, so I beheaded it. And I'm just going to reroot it, but it's in a tiny jar of stratum and it's completely dry. I knew putting it in there that I was not going to be able to water that, so I am going to upsize that one. Oh, it started to root though. Do you see the little roots coming in? Oh, and I see a new growth point right there. All the little hooks are growth points. Do you see? There's actually several coming out. That makes me so excited. I'm glad I beheaded it then. I was a little worried. If something doesn't grow for me, it's either going in stratum temporarily and then I'm gonna move it to pond, or I'll leave it in stratum for a little bit and then either pot it back up. Sometimes when you get little plants, I feel like they just don't do well. Like stratum is the answer to everything. It's just a magic elixir. I don't know what it is. It's so cute now. It should be able to stay more hydrated for sure. I'll leave it on the shelf that it was in. Gorgeous. Maybe I can finally have a light veins growing. Okay, I honestly don't feel like watering tonight, and I don't feel like rushing it because I have so much to go through in water. I have some plants that are very thirsty right now, I can tell, but I feel like they can wait another 8-9 hours till the morning. I think they'll be okay. Hello, it is the next day. I said I was going to start this morning, but that didn't happen. I actually have just spent the last 2 hours cleaning and watering and checking all of those plants. Those are all my propagations. Well, I have propagations in some other areas too, but that's pretty much all of them. Oh my gosh, it took so long. But let me give you a peek at this shelf. I want to do a couple updates with you. I have a couple packages that I want to open with you too. And then I think we'll get started back in our plant room. I have to water that shelf out there, but I think I'll do that maybe tomorrow because I don't feel like doing that today. I think they'll be okay for one more day. But I really need to get my plant room finished. And one of those packages is the Lechuza planter, so I might switch out my fry deck real quick with you guys too. So yeah, we have so many propagations. It is insane. These and that is just all seedlings. A lot of these are from my moss poles when I chop them. Some of these are my plants that I'm going to eventually put back into my plant room. Like this one here was an imported Scindapsus Jade Satin, but it's the variegated one. It put out a new leaf here, which is beautiful. I was actually just talking to my Instagram about my Aria Adansonii. My variegated one, I'm going to show you. I think I'm going to finally get rid of it, which is very sad. The Aria has some new growth coming in, but a lot of it is green, so I might end up propagating that one again. I have my Mame here that I completely forgot about. It's another philo that I'm going to do in pond. It has been in stratum for a while, so it is ready. These guys are doing well too. The Pink Princess and the Mandulas, I gave these a good water. My Clarinervium has 1 leaf left and it's putting out 2 new leaves. since I've like rehabbed it in water, it's like one big chunk. So I may end up propagating that one at some point. So I wanted to give you an update on the corms here from the Alocasia. So this row here is the green, and then the rest of these are variegated. And I didn't peel them, but a lot of them are starting to sprout a little bit. You can kind of see some that are wanting to activate a little bit. It's going to be so fun watching all the new leaves come in. That was the ginormous corm there, so I'm very curious to see how that new leaf will be. But they're doing very well. I just moved them down here because I can keep the lid on them. I don't want the cats getting into them, so I've had to do a little rearranging. I have some halo micans in here. These were all wet sticks. I have a perlite prop bin. I had some Milano and Verrucosum wet sticks. I did this when I chopped the pole for the very first time. These are all Verrucosum wet sticks. It is crazy. I just took the lid off of them because they were getting squished, so now I had to like move them up here. So yeah, a lot of like random props, stuff that I'm eventually going to be selling, and again, some plants of mine that I just haven't taken care of yet. And I think I'm going to be tossing these. It is very sad. So I made a whole video around my variegated Adansonii, and I propagated what was left. These were all original half moon leaves, and they're all starting to yellow. So there's just one node that grew out of each one, and they're all coming in white. I mean, this one has a tiny bit of green, but you can say it's all white, and the growth is already browning. This plant, I just can't save it. There's nothing I can do. It's just going to keep growing in white. There's just no green left. And the wet sticks that I had, I no longer have. I got rid of one, and then the rest rotted. So yeah. Oh, I didn't even see this one had two nodes that activated, but yeah, it's all white still. It's just such a shame. I paid so much money for this. I got it as like a little half moon leaf, and it was so expensive. So that's why I'm hoping my Aria, I can at least have some yellow variegation. It's just sad that this one ended up growing all white. I might take like a picture of it for a memory's sake. I'm gonna really hate to toss these. It just crushes my soul. I hate like tossing plants, especially when I really try my best to get it to live and there's just nothing left to do. So I don't know, it's very sad. I'm gonna leave it here, and then I'll probably end up like tossing it a bit later after I take a photo of them. Okay, I have some boxes to open really quick. This one is actually plant mail from a follower, and I honestly, you guys, the other day I just was in tears because 2 people have reached out to me and are gifting me a new Philodendron, and I insisted like I would be happy to pay for it. Like, that's so thoughtful, and they just like, I just can't believe how nice some people are to want to replace that plant for me. What'd you get into? So I feel bad because I do have a mailbox, but it's not a PO box, so I can't like go and pick it up here in Savannah. It's like a virtual box. It's a physical address, but the location isn't here in Savannah, so I can't go and just pick it up. So things can get shipped there, like packages and stuff, but once it arrives, there's a delay up to like a week before they notify me, and then I have to get it shipped to me here. But yeah, I felt bad because this has already been in the mail probably for like way over a week. This is probably maybe 10 days, so I hope it's okay. I'm gonna open this up outside. So I'm gonna take you out there to open that. This is the Lechuza planter here. Oh, it's very nice. So this one has the inner cache pot. You see the black one, so I'm gonna switch it. This should be the same size. So this is the Classico, is it IS? The one with the inner pot, and then they have the regular Classico. But this should be the same size. I think this was the 28, which is the like 11 inches. It's a very beautiful, well-made pot. This thing was way more expensive than the regular one that it's planted in. I really don't want to take the chance of something happening to the fry duck in the pot that it's in because I'm just so used to flushing them all the time. And I know that just me, I just feel like I would want the inner pot. This I bought, I'm not sure when I'm gonna have time to mess with this. I bought it based off a recommendation from a follower, not the specific kind, but the brand. It's a very, I guess, good brand. So this is an EC meter. It's by Para Instruments. This is like a nice little kit, but it's like a little meter that you stick in your water. And this one does, or it tests for 5 things. It tests for pH, EC, TDS, salinity, and temp. And it's supposed to be a really reliable brand. I feel like if I'm gonna grow in semi-hydro, then I might as well go out and get one of these meters. I have to calibrate this. So that's what this kit is for. It gives you like all the stuff that you need to actually calibrate it and everything, and instructions. So I'm excited to use this. Yeah, this was expensive. I will put this on my Amazon if you're interested in looking at what I purchased, but I'm not saying like you have to go out and buy that because that was expensive. I want to make sure my plants are happy and getting what they're needing. Like if my pH is off or salt or something is off and the plant isn't able to uptake nutrients like it's supposed to, then I want to know what I'm doing wrong possibly so that I can fix it and I can have happy plants. I spend so much money and time and energy into growing plants and caring for them. So if I can do a simple test to let me know if I'm doing things right, then it's totally worth it. Because if you're going to spend all that time into caring for it and you're not doing something right or something's off, then I feel like it's important to know that. These are the shelves that I ordered. Well, it's a bracket. I feel like this will force me to repot those Hoyas, redoing that little setup. I'm just gonna open one of these. It's the same kind of bar that I have in my plant room, except I had to spray paint mine. And I got mine from Target, and this is from Amazon. So it's basically a little thing like this. And it goes out from the wall like this much. So that's a pretty good distance. It's like a pipe thing. So this is what screws into the wall. That's a pretty good distance away. So you can hang it this way. And it has the other end. So you can hang it this way from the window like how you normally do, or you can turn it this way and hang it from the ceiling, which I might be tempted to. So I got 2 of them. I think the 2-pack was cheaper than buying a single one because I figured it wouldn't hurt to have a second one. So I'll definitely have to put those into a stud or something. And these little hooks, little S hooks, you can put here and then you can hang your plant from the S hook. Hi, you have been sleeping all day. You just woke up. See, I just woke up. You've been in a slumber, girlfriend. Yes, I have. I have been in a slumber. I think you guys will see my Ikea vlog already on my channel for my birthday. And I did a haul. So I have, you know, some greenhouse cabinets to install and put up. So I have a lot of projects to do coming up. All right, I will meet you outside and we're gonna open up this plant mat real quick. It is so warm out here. It feels like spring. I really hope this is okay. I feel really bad. see how it's doing. Oh, you guys can't see the box. It's in here like this. It looks like it's just a bunch of polyfill. Oh my goodness, it's so cute. I have no idea where she ordered this from. It's so cute, and it looks so good for being in the mail for as long as it has been. How thoughtful for someone to gift me a Philodendron. Like, they didn't have to do that. This leaf here is a little bent right here. It does look like it has a growth point right here. I wonder where she got this from. My battery died accidentally. I just took all the tape off and it looks thirsty, but look at all the healthy roots in there. Do you see? They must have did this with like a soldering iron. That's kind of cool. I mean, how sweet is that? I don't see any pests. It looks like a little happy Philodendron. I mean, come on. I'm gonna keep this box and send her something because this is just too sweet and thoughtful. I mean, look at her. I guess I'm gonna isolate it in a little box with extra humidity just in case there's anything that arises. I don't think there would be, just by looking it over. I don't see any pest, but you never know. I'll give it a drink and yeah, keep it in humidity, and I may eventually transfer it to pond. But I have Anthurium still in my chunky mix and they're doing well, so we'll see. It's so cute. I'm going to water her through really good, and then we'll try and bandage up the leaves and spray her down. I put just a very, very diluted amount of fertilizer in here, just very, very diluted, because I feel like this plant might be a little stressed just because it's been in the mail for so long. I should probably water through some kind of like Super Thrive, but for a good drink. I hope it doesn't shock. What a super chunky mix. I love seeing chunky mixes and how other people do their mixes, because I guess I don't really see that because I'm so used to buying plants that are from the big box store, or like small plants that are shipped in moss, or I don't know. I guess it's nice seeing someone else's mix in a way, if that makes any sense. It's very aerated, so wherever this came from, I love your mix. Literally just dreams straight through. Do a little spray. I didn't see any pests, but I'm just gonna spray anyway. Just as a precaution. I think what I'll end up doing is the new green cabinet I want to sit beside my desk. So I think on top of it, I'll put a Philodendron, and then I want to put a Philodendron on top of my Ikea cabinet in my plant room. I haven't decided. That, I don't know if you can see that one still in the bag, the one that had thrips. I've totally neglected it. I haven't opened it, and I opened it once, I think after I filmed that video, like 2 days later to check, and then I haven't opened it anymore since. I've kind of like came over there to eyeball it, but I don't know. I feel really bad that I'm neglecting it, but I think I'm just so worried about thrips. I'll take care of it here soon though. I think maybe in the next few days I'll see how it's doing. We're gonna take a toothpick. We're gonna see if we can make a makeshift little splint, you know? I did this to my Friedeck leaf and it healed itself. Aw, I think it might work. Do you see how I did that with the toothpick? And then I wrapped it in some, this is grafting tape, and I just put a piece of tape around it so it wouldn't come undone. But it made it like a straight little line. And then there's one more leaf here that was a little bit bent. I'm gonna try and do the same thing. Oh my goodness. Look at the little splints. That's so cute. It's adorable. I have some more yellowing on Sodiroi here. This is like the third leaf, and I would say 2 months, which isn't normal. This plant is a little over a year old, and this one was actually up higher. It wasn't even one of the lower ones. So I feel like this isn't normal leaf shedding. Something else is going on. And from the look of it, it's very root bound. I think the roots on the Sodiroi are so cool because they're red. Do you see that? How bright they are? That is so cool. I don't know if it's focusing. There you go. And I feel like that, since it's root bound, I feel like I'm probably underwatering it. So I'm gonna quickly upsize the base into a larger pot. I have no more 6-inch repot me's. I've already used the ones that I got. I ordered like a set, and this was 3 of the 6-inch, and these are perfect for poles. So now I'm gonna have to order more. And I'm gonna use one of my new pots from Ikea because this is the perfect combo. Now I wish I would have gotten more of these. Even though they were 12 bucks, I am going to show you. It's literally heavy ceramic 6-inch repot me. Cannot get a more perfect fit. It does so well in here for keeping your poles stable. So I am going to go up to 5-inch to a 6-inch. That should keep it in here for a little while and get all these roots up out of there. And I think that should help with the yellowing. I'm gonna add a little Osmocote in there too. And I'm gonna sprinkle a little of the TPS in there for a little extra support. Oop. I just had to lock Chai out of my room. He literally has been nonstop today. I feel bad sometimes for doing that, but I can't like get any work done with him in here up on me all the time. Oh yeah, I think we're a little root bound. root bound and underwatered. Okay, she is all watered and repotted. And it fits nicely in her new pot. I came in here this morning and Majestic had fallen over, so I think I'm gonna have to switch her pot as well for more stability. But I don't think I can repot her yet because I'm gonna have to order more of the 6-inch pots. Majestic is watered. Uh-oh, knocking into the lights. I need to extend her. She's like well beyond the top of the pole. So I'm probably gonna do that next week, and I'm gonna repot her base. She's definitely getting root bound. She doesn't have a lot of roots coming out, but if I upsize her top part, this is gonna be a little unstable. So once I get some 6-inch pots, I'll upsize and extend her. But she's getting massive. These poles, some of these poles are getting too big. I don't have any room over here anymore. I feel like it was fine having like 2 rows when some of these were smaller, but now that some of these smaller ones are getting huge, I don't have any more room to do like 2 rows, like one in the back and one in the front. And then it's blocking light from the ones in the back. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. I just don't have any room in here. Chai, buddy, you are driving me crazy. Do you know that? You are driving me crazy. He just wants cuddles all the time. Or at least when I'm in here trying to water. He's making air biscuits now. Yes. How come every time I come in here, when I'm out there, you don't pay any attention to me? Just when I'm in here trying to water. Why is that? He's such a baby. I am using silica on my Verrucosum to see if it stops the long internodal stretching. I'm gonna mix it into my water here. I already have it mixed, but I'm using it on certain plants, so my Verrucosum, I'm gonna use it on. Crazy tall. I wanted to bring you closer so I could show you. I started bending the vine a little bit here before it gets too like tight. I'm not like snapping it, but I'm just bending it so it shortens that internodal spacing some. I don't know if you can tell what I did there. She's beautiful though. Here, and then her top newest leaf is here. She's got one more here, like getting ready to unfurl. So satisfying peeling those off, the caterpillars. Hello, it is the next day. I ended last night like finishing up watering. I had a few things left over to do really quick earlier that I finished up. I didn't really film much watering in this chores video, but that's okay. I had a lot to water in here. I feel like my watering schedule is completely off track. The one thing that I wanted to do that I didn't get done yesterday, that the last little project for this vlog, is the Lechuza planter came in, the right one. This is the Classico, is it LS, I think? So this is what I thought I was getting. So I'm gonna quickly put this one together and then we're just gonna transfer her really quick. And I figured I would give you an update on the rest of the Alocasias too. I will say she does have one leaf that I'm going to chop off. It's starting to yellow and she's a little bit droopy to me, which I haven't added any more water in there, so I think it's probably dry. I didn't add a lot when I first did it, so I think that's probably is what's going on. So as soon as I switch her and put her in here, I'm gonna add some water like I normally do and get her hydrated again. I just took care of the rest of these and the regular green one here. Look how beautiful she is. I just added water in her reservoir. It was like empty, but this one is doing well. No issues at all. And then I have both of the variegated ones. This variegated one is doing well. I have, I think that's the new leaf that it was unfurling for the video. It was a little bit smaller. And this one is still on its way out here. It's yellowing a bit, which is very sad. It was such a beautiful leaf. And I believe this is the one that had, yeah, this one had a smaller leaf here that yellowed, but it does have like a new growth point on this corm here, down in here. So it's doing well though. And this one, that leaf is still like on its way out. And then it was working on a new leaf here, and I didn't realize my mites, I had a box of mites on this leaf and it couldn't unfurl all the way, so it's a little wonky here. So it should straighten itself out now that I removed it. I'm hoping it doesn't continue to look wonky, but this one appears to be doing well too. I don't see any more yellowing going on besides that one leaf that it was already doing. So it seems like they've handled the repots well. Let's see. Down in there, it's a little bit different of a setup, but it's kind of the same situation with the meter. And then, yeah, this comes out like that. And it has the same like drain plug thing on the bottom if you need it. But yeah, I'll just be lifting her up out of here. It is so humid in Savannah the last 2 days. It's like over 70 degrees. Right now it is 76 degrees in my plant room and it's 77% humidity. It is so humid. My hair is like all frizzy. The weather is crazy this time of year. So this is gonna hold less pond than what I currently have in this big one. So whatever's left over, I'll just store. I'll just let it dry and store. She is so heavy. It is crazy. I'm thinking the best thing to do is kind of just tilt her and let the pond fall and then just do like a plop into there. Oh, wow. A little, look at all the extra pond. So yeah, I'm just gonna plop it into here. Let me put it in here. Look at how much extra pond was in that container. This all came from there. There's so much in there. I am going to rinse this outside with my hose. Since it's warm, I'm just gonna take this out there and rinse this off, let it dry, and then I'll store it. I don't think I'm gonna worry about boiling it this time because I feel like most of this is new pond and it's only been in there for like a week, so. But I can see why people rinse their pond first because look at how dirty that is. I'm definitely going to save this for something. So I have it more on the low side just so I can keep an eye, but there's a lot of water in here. And I put my do not die tag in here. This is from, I got this a while ago, I think a couple seasons ago at Target because I don't want it to die. All right, so now I can lift her out of here carefully if I have to, but still, like lifting that out of here is going to be a pain. This is like loose, this ring around it, which I'm kind of not liking. Yeah, that's going to take some maneuvering to get her up out of here, but once she kind of roots in here and establishes in here a bit more, I can just like grab her like this, like I normally do, and like pull them right up, but I can't do that for a while until she roots in here more. So I'm just gonna have to be very mindful. But yeah, I'm hoping no more leaves go. And again, once I get my TD or my reader, I'm going to measure some stuff in her water and hopefully like I don't get any type of weird nutrient lockout or anything. I have beneficial mites on her currently. I don't see any kind of spider mites, but I know they're very prone to spider mites. I had some in my plant collection, I think a couple months ago. So I just got beneficial mites. I would say it's been 2 weeks now. I use as prevention because I don't want any more to pop up, but I just try to check often. So I'm gonna get her put back in that little corner with the rest of them up there, get that whole situation back together. And then I'm going to rinse this pond out outside real quick and get that cleaned. And then that is it for this plant chores video. I kind of did a lot of random projects this time, even though I was supposed to just water. And that's okay. I have a lot of overdue repots and pole extensions and stuff to do. So I have a lot of plant care. At least my Alocasia Micholitziana and Fridex are good for a while. I shouldn't have to worry about them too much as far as like outgrowing the container for a while. So I'm at least happy about that. It'll be some crossing my fingers low maintenance with them for this entire rest of the year. Thank you guys for watching. Leave me a comment down below if there's anything that you want to chat about. And I appreciate you guys so much. I can't wait to like update you. I think I'll do a next like full plant update next month sometime, maybe like mid-February. So look forward to that. I'm gonna do like a full plant update on everyone. So if there was someone else that you were curious about, I'll do and share like what I can in that video. But I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for watching and I'll talk to you later.